to fight. I am here to fight. And I want to tell you what I'm here to fight for. I'm here to fight for our future. And I want to show you what our future means to me very personally. Come here, Bethy. This is Elizabeth Ann. Come here, Beth. It's Elizabeth Ann Crookham, my niece. Sean Crookham, my nephew. And Connor Crookham, my other nephew. Come on out, boys. These are good Colorado kids. Good Colorado kids. But I understand what this race is about. What this race is about in Colorado, and what this race is about all across this country. It's about the kind of world we are building for these children. And that's why I'm here to fight, because I want to stand with a fighter who's going to build the right kind of world for them. Mark Udall. Yep, those are my kids. So, it's going to come down to you. I mean, Mark is working his tail off. We know that. And we're all working our tails off. We'll do everything we can to make this happen. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to you. It's going to come down to democracy. It's going to come down to getting out there, person to person to person, across this entire state, face to face, and making it happen. We do our part. God bless. Work hard. But ultimately, we got to count on you. Because we understand that you don't build a future unless you do it together. And you don't win a race unless you do it together. And that's how Democrats do it. We're going to do this together. We're going to do it together. So there are a lot of different ways you can do it. When you knock on doors, when you talk to people in front of you in line at the grocery store, when you talk to people who are pumping gas next to you. But for me, I always like to talk about it in terms of whose side do you stand on? Who are these candidates really for? You know, there are people who believe, Republicans who believe, Cory Gardner who believes, that women are fine. No, they are. They're just fine. They're worth 77 cents on the dollar. They can make many of their health care decisions, with just a little help, on a few of the key ones. And there are people who believe, as Mark Udall believes, that equal means equal, and a woman is entitled to equal pay and to control over her own body. Mark Udall. So when it comes to women, and the question is, who's going to be there? Not some of the time. Who's going to be there? Not when it's convenient. Who's going to be there? Not, when the race is looking tight and women are looking a little feisty. It's who's going to be there for women all of the time. The answer is Mark Udall. Yes. Yes. I'll tell you something else I believe. I believe that when people work a lifetime, that they are entitled to retire with dignity. Now, there are Republicans who say, it'd be really good if we just voucherized Medicare, might reduce taxes for those at the top. There are Republicans who say, how about we just privatize Social Security? See how that works with the stock market. There are Republicans who say, now that the cameras are on them, gosh, I like my friends who are seniors. I know some. But there is a man who says, I believe all the way down to my core that seniors are entitled to retire with dignity, and that means protecting Social Security, protecting Medicare, and I'm going to be there for them all the time, and that's Mark Udall. That's Mark Udall. All the way. And then we got just one more that we got to talk about. I know it's hot in here, but it's hot in here for a reason. It's hot in here because we're working hard. So here's the deal. Right now, we've got kids who are told, if you want even a shot, Bethy, Sean, you want even a shot to make it in the middle class, you got to go to college. You got to go to college, you got to get an education, you got to have more education, more training after high school. Cost of college is through the roof. So the United States government is going to lend some money for that. But here's how it shifted over time. Today, the United States government will lend that money, but the amount that has to be repaid is an amount to cover all the administrative costs, I get that, all the bad debt losses, all of the cost of funds, and then to produce tens of billions of dollars in profits for the government. Just, everybody has to know this. Carry one little fact in your pocket every time someone wants to talk about this. The college loans that were put out just between 2007 and 2012, we happen to have the numbers on just that little slice. They are on target right now to produce $66 billion in profits for the United States government. And here's the hooker. That money has already been spent. So, Mark Udall, not on education, no ma'am. I didn't even think anyone would think that. That money's been spent. So Mark Udall, the kind of guy who'll take on the banks, the kind of guy who'll get out there and stand up for seniors, said, I'm going to be there for our students. Because here's the bill we've got. We've said we can lower the interest rate on our student loans, but we're going to have to pay for it. And here's how we propose to pay for it. Millionaires and billionaires, now this one's going to shock you. Some of you may need to sit down. Millionaires and billionaires should have to pay taxes at a rate that's at least the same as middle-class families. Republicans are saying no to that. Republicans have filibustered that. And boy, the question is, whose side do you stand on? The Republicans stand strong for the millionaires and the billionaires. Mark Udall, he stands strong for young people trying to get an education. I'm with Mark. So, that's what this race is going to be about. It's going to be about whose side you stand on. We know whose side Gardner stands on. We know whose side Mark Udall stands on. And what this is all about today is we're going to stand right there with Mark Udall. That's what this is going to be about. That's what this is going to be about. So this is it. We're down to the short strokes. We're down to making it happen. Here's the heart of this. This comes down to democracy. It comes down to getting enough people to see what the race is about, make up their minds, make up their hearts, and get into the voting booth or to sign that ballot in advance. To vote, vote, vote. And you are the people on the front lines to make that happen. Truly, in this question of whose side do you stand on, the Republicans, they have made it clear who they're going to stand for. They couldn't have made it any clearer who they're going to stand there. They'll be there strong for the millionaires, for the billionaires, for 77 cents for women. They'll be there, right? They'll be there to gut Social Security and Medicare. They'll be there strong. They've made it clear. Mark Udall has made it clear what he will fight for, whose side he will be on. Not some of the time, not when the cameras are turned on him, but every single day. So now it's down to us to prove democracy works. And it starts with us. Face to face, hand to hand, voice to voice. We make it happen. I look around this room and I say to every one of you, Colorado is counting on you. America is counting on you. Get out there and fight for Mark Udall. Make it happen.
Now,